A mayoral candidate being challenged. The saga surrounding embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard continues.
Mayoral candidate will be on the general election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally of current Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who is...
Well. Things in Dolton, Illinois are heating up like never before. This time, Tiffany Henyard has unveiled her brand new dream team of trustees and clerks as part of her re-election campaign. And let's just say the rollout has been far from smooth. With scandals, controversies, and eyebrow-raising resumes, Henyard's latest moves have everyone talking. But hold on, this isn't just about her team. Oh no, Tiffany herself is a walking headline with lawsuits, federal probes, and a reputation that seems to spark drama wherever she goes. So what's the deal with this so-called super mayor? And can her new team help clean up Dolton? Or will they just add to the chaos? Let's dive in.
Manipulation. Nobody likes being manipulated. And when you get here, you know that's exactly what's happening.
First, let's focus on the star of the show herself, Tiffany Henyard. She's not just holding one title, she's juggling two, mayor of Dolton and Thornton Township supervisor. She's managed to keep herself firmly at the center of power, and while she proudly claims her place as the youngest and first female mayor in Dolton's history, her tenure hasn't exactly been a fairy tale. Accusations of financial mismanagement, lavish taxpayer-funded travel, and even an ongoing federal investigation have followed her. Some might wonder how she's still in office, let alone running for re-election. But Tiffany isn't just running. She's running with style. Or at least, that's what she wants us to believe.
At the hearing here today, neither was her attorney, and she was not made available for a comment.
Enter her latest political move, a fresh slate of women trustees and clerks. That's right, Tiffany's assembling an all-female team in what appears to be an attempt to rebrand herself as a champion of women's empowerment. Sounds inspiring, right? Well, not so fast. Critics are already scrutinizing the qualifications, or lack thereof, of her chosen candidates, and the internet is having a field day with the official bios released by Henyard's campaign. Let's just say, if first impressions matter, this team might already be in trouble. Take Linda Terrell, for example, one of Tiffany's picks. Her bio proudly states that she's a licensed educator and a 35-year resident of Dolton. So far, so good, right? But then she claims to have spent 30 years in Illinois. Hold on a second. How can you live in Dolton, which is in Illinois, for 35 years, but only have 30 years of total time in Illinois? Is this some kind of time travel situation? It's no surprise that people are questioning the accuracy of her credentials, or whether she even read her own bio before it was published. And let's not forget the grammatical chaos sprinkled throughout. If this is the level of attention to detail we can expect from Henyard's team, Dolton residents might want to brace themselves.
Well, she's one of the most recognizable faces that's been on the news lately. I'm talking about the mayor of Dolton, Tiffany Henyard.
And all of social media.
Yes.
And speaking of questionable details, let's not forget the claims about her extensive banking experience. Terrell's bio mentions overseeing millions in private funds, but what does that actually mean? Was she managing accounts, working directly with clients, or simply handling administrative tasks? The lack of specifics makes it difficult to determine whether this is a genuine qualification or just another exaggerated resume bullet. It's details like these that have left voters wondering if Tiffany's team is truly ready to lead, or if it's just a show to distract from the mayor's own controversies. Then there's Jocelyn King, another trustee hopeful. Jocelyn's bio jumps straight into the deep end, claiming she oversaw 8 departments and a $20 million annual budget during her time with Thornton Township. Oversaw? Really? That word alone has sparked endless debates online, with many suggesting it sounds more like a self-assumed title than a legitimate responsibility. Overseer certainly has a dramatic flair, doesn't it? It's as if she's envisioning herself as the all-knowing ruler of Thornton Township. Whether she had any real authority over that budget remains unclear. But one thing's certain, the description feels more like fiction.
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Wow.
Let's talk about the title of this, because it's called Super Mayor, and that is what Tiffany Henyard calls herself.
Tiffany Henyard's team isn't the only one facing scrutiny. Jocelyn King's bio is raising eyebrows too. She claims to have overseen 8 departments and a $20 million annual budget during her time with Thornton Township. But the lack of details about her actual accomplishments in that role is puzzling. If King truly had control over such a large budget and multiple departments, why hasn't she highlighted specific initiatives or measurable successes from her time there? The mention of 8 departments seems designed to impress, but the actual scope of her responsibilities remains a mystery. This vagueness has only fueled the skepticism surrounding. And then there's Tiffany herself. While her team's bios are being mocked for their errors, Tiffany's own introduction isn't faring much better. She describes herself as the CEO of Good Burger. Yes, you heard that right, Good Burger, which sounds suspiciously like the name of a classic 90s comedy movie. Is it a restaurant, a hobby, a typo? Nobody knows for sure, but the internet has had a field day mocking the idea of a politician casually name-dropping a fast food brand in her official bio. And that's just the beginning. Tiffany's bio is riddled with incomplete sentences, vague claims, and enough grammatical blunders to make any English teacher cringe. It's almost as if she wrote it herself in a rush, further reinforcing the perception that her campaign is more about theatrics than substance.
Has this surprised you, how much the viewership has gravitated towards this woman? Like, people from all over the world are talking about it.
But let's not forget the other members of the team. Tina Hughes, Tiffany's pick for clerk, seems to have the most straightforward resume of the bunch. She's been a supervisor in Thornton Township's General Assistance Department and claims to have managed a $3 million budget while helping thousands of families. Compared to the other bios, hers appears relatively drama-free, which is probably why she's flying under the radar. Still, some critics are questioning whether her experience in general assistance translates to the type of leadership Dolton needs right now. Then there's Vanessa Wesco, who might just be the most polished member of the team. A business owner with a background in strategic IT and financial management, Vanessa's bio avoids the wild claims and grammatical errors that plague her colleagues. In fact, some might say she's the only one on Tiffany's team who looks like a serious contender. But even Vanessa isn't immune to criticism. Her lack of specifics, such as the exact field of her business degrees, has left some voters scratching their heads. Is she the real deal, or just another name on Tiffany's list? Of course, it wouldn't be a Tiffany Henyard production without some good old-fashioned controversy. Many residents are questioning the motivation behind her all-female slate, wondering if it's a genuine push for diversity or just another ploy to distract from her own scandals. After all, Henyard's time in office has been anything but smooth, ranging from allegations of embezzlement to her infamous taxpayer-funded trips. It's hard not to view this latest move as an attempt to shift the narrative. And let's not forget the lawsuits. Tiffany has been in and out of courtrooms fighting everything from challenges to her candidacy to accusations of voter suppression at a recent Democratic caucus. It's a
manner of fights in Thornton Township and in Dolton. Except in one case, Tiffany Henyard wants on a ballot, while in another, a Henyard ally was looking to keep her opponent off.
But here's the kicker. Despite everything, Henyard is still pushing forward. In her eyes, she's the victim of a political witch hunt, and she's not afraid to say it. The people will put me on the ballot, she declared during a press conference, as if willing her supporters to overlook the chaos and focus on her vision for Dolton. Whether or not they'll buy into that narrative remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, Tiffany knows how to keep herself in the headlines.
Again, no comment from Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Voters here will first head to the polls in February for the primary election, then the general mayoral election.
As for Henyard's opponents, the race is shaping up to be a battle of personalities. Senior trustee Jason House, who's also running for mayor, is positioning himself as the ethical alternative to Henyard's chaotic reign. In his campaign statements, House has emphasized the need for transparency, accountability, and a focus on community priorities. He's even taken subtle digs at Henyard's leadership style, calling her recent lawsuits distractions and accusing her of misusing taxpayer dollars. But will his message resonate with voters, or will Henyard's larger-than-life persona overshadow his campaign? And then there's Cassandra Hobson Jordan, who recently secured her spot on the ballot after a failed attempt by Henyard's allies to block her candidacy. Representing the rebuilding Dolton party, Hobson Jordan has made it clear that she's ready to tackle the challenges Henyard has left behind. It's about the people, she said during a recent interview. It's not about me, it's about the people. Her campaign is gaining momentum, and some are calling her